Hey everybody, it's Lauren, and I have some really exciting news to share. So, um, let's all start with just the story of how it all started. So, last summer, I was at Celebrate Recovery, and I was worshiping the Lord, and I had this, vision, this image in my head, kind of like a video. Not like a vision, but you know what I mean, like this video in my head of me playing with these little children, and I just remember we were all in a circle and laughing and dancing, and I just saw their smiling faces as clear and as bright as can be. Just their smiles, I can still envision them, and I saw the word Africa, and it was plain as day, and I knew that wasn't me because I've never ever thought of going to Africa. I'm terrified of traveling because I get so I overthink like crazy. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I hurried up and I went to my friend who's the leader of CR, amazing man. And I was like, we need to talk about this. This is what happened. So we immediately prayed and we committed, we were going to pray about it. So fast forward, so I'd been praying about it. Fast forward, not as much as I should, but I was praying about it. Fast forward, I was back at school, and it was one day, and I was just walking, I don't know where I was walking. I was walking through the building to go, probably to Starbucks, honestly, what else is new? And there was a bunch of booths set up for this thing called LU Send, which is a Liberty thing, where they send us places, hence LU Send. Anyway, so I was walking past, and God was like, go talk to that woman, one of the ladies who was sitting there. And I was like, God, why? I don't want to. I want to leave. I don't know her. Well, just arguing with God, being stupid. And so he was like, Lauren, go talk to her. And I was like, okay, fine. So I did. I introduced myself, and I was like, God wanted me to say hi, so here I am. And I actually ended up winning a gift card to Starbucks, so shout out to God. But then right next to her booth was this LU Send Now, giant, display, and it was this electronic map. And they told me to pick any place I want to go and see, if they have trips there. And I was obviously, first thing, Italy. I want to go there so bad. So I was Italy! And I told them for education, and they were like, no, sorry, not. And then in my head, I was just Africa. And I was like, oh my gosh, if there's one to Africa, I'm gonna freak out. So I said, okay, Africa. And they looked, and they were like, yeah, there's actually an education group going to teach in Africa in the spring. I was like, you're joking. Okay. So I had prayed about it. I called my friend, Pastor Guy, and I was like, oh my gosh, you hear all this stuff. So I was super stoked, and I just submitted it to God. And so then fast forward again, I had emailed, well actually back it up. I had emailed the woman who was in charge of it all. She's the leader of the education department, and I told her I was interested, but I never got back, I never heard back from her. But she's also my advisor. So fast forward, I contacted her today, and last week, but we played phone tag. So eventually I talked to her today about my schedule and stuff, and then I mentioned the trip. And she was like, oh my gosh, Lauren, okay. And I told her my story about what happened and what God showed me and stuff. And so she sent me the link to apply. And so I applied, and I sent her an email after, and I was like, I just applied. And then she literally just sent back to me right after and said, we can't wait to have you on the trip. And I was like, wait, I got accepted? And she was like, well, we haven't reviewed your application yet. I'll review it at the end of the week. So then I got an email tonight when I was eating a delicious milkshake, and I saw, and it said that my status was changed on the application, and I looked, and I got invited by LU Send Now and the education department to go on the trip to Rwanda. So God is so faithful. I have no idea what's happening. This is so outside of my comfort zone. I have no idea like how anything is gonna work. But I was like, God, if you want me there, you're gonna make it happen. So guys, this is like the vision that I saw coming true to reality. So I'm gonna be just committing this to prayer to the Lord. God, I have no idea how I'm going to pay for this, so God, provide. If He wants me there, He's going to make a way. So if you guys could just please pray with me for the Lord's provision. And I'm going to be making a lot of art. I've like kind of like stretched my my limits, I guess, for making art. So I've been trying new things. So if you want me to make something for you, or I'll just make a whole bunch up and try to send them to raise money. I'll probably do t-shirts, but a bunch of things, because I'm going to Africa. God wanted me there, and He's going to make it happen, and I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to keep you posted on this journey. And I thank you all in advance for helping me, and I am so excited to see what God has. So, alright guys, you're so loved, and I'm out of breath. Alright, bye guys.